In the heart of Philippi, a cold Roman fortress stood under a dark sky. Deep beneath the stones, a narrow staircase led into the dark unknown. Water trickled slowly down the mossy walls of the hidden dungeon cell. A single flickering torch cast long, dancing shadows across the room. Bound in heavy iron, Paul and Silas felt the cold bite of their chains. Within the cramped and dirty cell, the two men sat together in silence. Despite the grime and pain, Paul's face was filled with a gentle peace. Silas joined the song, his voice harmonizing in a beautiful act of hope. Nearby prisoners watched in awe, wondering at the source of such joy. Their chains clicked softly, like bells, as they clapped in rhythmic praise. In the darkness, they looked like heroes of a story yet to be written. A small puddle on the floor began to ripple with a strange new energy. The stone walls groaned as fine dust drifted down from the high ceiling. A violent earthquake suddenly struck, shaking the prison to its core. The torch fell from the wall, its flame flaring brightly on the ground. With a loud metallic screech, the heavy iron bolts slid back on their own. The massive cell doors swung wide, slamming against the outer stone walls. Paul's shackles snapped open instantly, falling uselessly to the floor. Silas felt his own chains drop away, leaving his wrists free of burden. The head guard jolted awake, his heart racing with a sudden, deep dread. Grabbing a torch, he raced through the dark halls to find the prisoners. He reached the dungeon and saw the empty cells standing open in the dust. His face turned pale as he realized the heavy price of losing his charge. In his despair, the guard drew his short sword to end his own suffering. From within the dark cell, a warm and golden light began to softly glow. Paul and Silas remained perfectly still, bathed in that heavenly light. Paul called out with a steady voice, telling the man not to harm himself. The guard froze in place, his eyes wide with shock at their presence. He slowly lowered his blade, the metal tip clinking against the stone. Falling to his knees, the rugged man wept with a sense of deep relief. Paul stepped forward and gently helped the trembling man to his feet. They walked out of the dark dungeon and into the cool air of the night. Inside the guard's ham, a warm fire crackled and danced in the hearth. Peace filled the room as the prisoners sat at the guard's wooden table. The guard's family gathered close, listening to every word they spoke. Paul shared the story of a love that could change the world forever. Tears of joy fell as the guard's wife felt a new hope enter her heart. They walked together through a quiet meadow under a canopy of stars. The sound of a rushing river greeted them in the stillness of the night. Paul waded into the water to baptize the man who once held him captive. The guard rose from the river, gasping with a joy he had never known. Together they sat as a family, bound by a faith that broke every chain.